We are Boys on Film, and we are about to reveal our favourite TV show of 2017.
Oh my god, this is a big moment, Phil.
It's very dramatic, isn't it? I'm going to get you to go first, because I'm itching to find out what you put up there at the top.
Well, my number one TV show of 2017 is a documentary. It's a reality TV show, and it's very controversial right now. It's Leah Remini, Scientology and the Aftermath. You've probably heard of Leah Remini before. She's a quite famous TV actress known for King of Queens, and very famously also known as being a member of the Church of Scientology, which also boasts other big celebrities like John Travolta and Tom Cruise in it. Now, I don't know what it is about Scientology that I find fascinating. I'm not a member, don't freak out anyone, but you know, you hear all these stories about Scientology and how almost cult-like it is, and you really have to wonder. And very famously, Leah Remini left the Church of Scientology after attending Tom Cruise's wedding, and she began to question her religion and all the injustices that are happening as a result of the church. And she is really blowing the roof off of everything. And every episode, they're already into season 2, every episode is so captivating. And what's really hard to swallow is that this is real life. You know, I've been going to LA quite a bit in the recent years, and you know, it's very hard not to notice that there's Scientology buildings everywhere, and you're like, you know, truth is stranger than fiction sometimes. And I just think what she is doing in helping all these people get out of the Church of Scientology and exposing what these top leaders of the church are doing, from everything to physical abuse, mental abuse, robbing people out of their money. I think it's very brave what she's doing, and her and Mike Rinder, who's also an ex-leader of the church, are doing this together. And every episode they're exposing a little different things about what's happening, from the propaganda arms that they use to people having to disconnect from their families, to exposing physical and mental abuse, to, you know, there's murders that are probably being covered up as well.
Yeah. So it's an eye-opener in many ways.
Yeah, it really is. And it makes you wonder, like, how is this Church of Scientology getting away with the stuff they're getting away with? They are a tax-exempt religion. The church vehemently disagrees with this whole series and won't participate, and you know, they're very negative about Leah Remini doing this, and stalking her, and you know, trying everything they can do to get this show taken off the air. I really think that the more and more the show builds a community, I mean, it's already won an Emmy, so the more and more that the show builds this community, you're going to see this evil, corrupt corporation just fall to the ground. I don't really think they knew that the show was going to take off so much, but as the show has been airing, more and more people in Scientology are drifting away from the church and discovering that their religion is super bad and super evil, and they're coming forth and they're like, I want to tell my story, I want to tell my story. And it's giving people the platform to tell their truth and tell what happens. And it's really hard not to believe what these people are saying, because the church says it's all false. The church says it's false, we've never done this. But these are normal people telling their stories, and it's really hard for me not to believe that they didn't endure this.
So what made you put this at the top of your list?
When it comes out, I have to see it. Like, the day that it airs, like as soon as it's available to watch, I'm like, drop everything. It's the first thing I watch when I come home. It's a real slice of human life that no one has really talked about that much. And, you know, this is real life. This is what's happening in people's lives, and it's really sad. And, you know, every time I walk past the Church of Scientology on Tottenham Court Road, I get the shivers now. And it's like, you know, and I start thinking in my head, like, Leah Remini is going to bring you guys down. Yeah. She's taking you guys down. And this is one actress, you know, in a TV show, and she has the power to take this whole thing down. What she is doing is incredibly brave. It's super compelling television. And if you haven't seen the episode, you'll watch the first one and you'll get hooked right into it. And it's not that, like, you know, I like seeing evils exposed or anything, but I just can't believe that they have gotten away with what they've gotten away with.
I feel like I'm learning more about you just from you revealing your favourite TV
Really?
show of 2017. I didn't expect it to be that.
Well, if you had talked to me like a year ago, this definitely wouldn't have been on my list. But I had a little bit of I wanted to know, and really what started out as a peek behind the curtain blew the whole thing up. Yeah. And I'm such a fan of the show, and like I think what Leah Remini is doing is super important.
Well, you have a shocker at your number one position. I have a shocker at mine too.
Okay.
It's based on a novel from the mid-80s. I haven't read the book. I know a lot of people that have. You may have read the book. Margaret Atwood was the writer. A dystopian, nightmarish future world set in the near future, where women are, because of human fertility rates collapsing and sexually transmitted diseases and pollution affecting the world, they're held captive almost by this power-hungry leader group. It is The Handmaid's Tale.
My name is Alfred, and I intend to survive.
It really affected me, and I've seen so many disturbing films and TV shows. This, for a drama, to have that effect. Elizabeth Moss, just magnificent as June, who was captured attempting to escape with a husband and child.
Interesting that your number one is about sort of mental and physical imprisonment, and my number one is also about the same sort of thing.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's what I was just thinking. They're very similar, aren't they? And they're both shocking, but in different ways. Have you seen Elizabeth Moss? Did you see her on Top of the Lake?
No, but everyone has been saying how wonderful this show is, and I'm actually a bit disappointed I haven't seen it yet. But again, there's just so much to watch, so many hours of the day. But again, this is like on my list.
She's fast becoming one of my favourite actresses. There are so many shots where they're lingering shots on her face, real close-ups, and it's done in such a way where the depth of field just blurs the background. It makes you feel queasy just looking at it, because it's almost like you're looking through glass. Mm. A lot of it is hard to watch. I'm not saying it's an easy ride by any means, because the subject matter is just too horrible for words.
I think we're starting to see a little bit of a trend in looking forward about what could happen in the future. I mean, take The Handmaid's Tale versus things like Black Mirror. These are all things that could happen.
Yeah.
And maybe, in the 80s, where the most futuristic thing we ever saw was like Blade Runner or Back to the Future. And we live in a different time now where if we don't, these movies and these TV shows that are telling us what could happen in the future are not that far out of reach.
And that was the true horror, because it did feel real. It's a story that could continue. I dread to think where it could go, though, because it could potentially get more nightmarish. I don't think it could become more nightmarish than it is in the first season, because it's just terrible, some of the events that happen. I'm not going to say anything, but there is one scene where there's two girls who are having a relationship, and this group that are controlling the women, they're punishing these women. You see their punishment, and it's just horrible the way it plays out. You see one of the girls witnessing her lover being punished, and I won't say what happens, but I actually had to leave the room because it disturbed me so much.
So obviously the most lighthearted and uplifting TV show, right?
No, you won't see anything lighthearted in there. But it's the way it looks. Because it does, much like Twin Peaks and what David Lynch does, it feels surreal just to look at it. It doesn't look like anything else. It has a really unique style.
Well, I think since it's your number one pick of TV shows, I'm definitely going to add that to the top of my list of things to watch now, because ever since the summer, people have been talking about this and talking about this. And
rightly so. It deserves the praise, because it's so powerful. But it's not an easy watch. It's tough.
Okay.
It's relentless. Don't forget we are online. We should say, actually, eqmusicblog.com, because we haven't really talked about it before.
If you're interested in new electronic pop music and new artists, that's what EQ Music Blog writes about. We just started doing our film and TV reviews over the last year, and now doing Boys on Film with Phil.
And I love the fact that you push and champion bands that other people aren't necessarily talking about too. These people deserve the acclaim.
Oh yeah, it's great. I like to think that too, actually, and that's really the heart of what we do. And I hope that these new film reviews and TV reviews that Phil and I are working on adds a bit more spice to your music and entertainment taste.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Comment below, and we'll give you a mention on a future video.